Hey everyone, before I proceed, here's a little advice. You've gotta know that programming goes hand in hand with practice. So just by watching me doing these exercises, won't help you much, not unless you make sure you try them yourself. That should be it. That's pretty much it. That's exactly what I wanted to say, and that is all. Now, we're doing what? We're doing exercise 5.45. I don't know, for some stupid reason I named it 4.45, but it's actually exercise 5.35. Okay, so in business applications, you are often asked to compute the mean and standard deviation of data. The mean is simply the average of the numbers. The standard deviation is a statistic that tells you how data is distributed. Okay, it tells you, what does it tell you? Okay, so it tells you how tightly the various data are clustered around the mean in a set of data. Okay, so for example, what is the average age of the student in a class? How close are the ages? If all the students are the same age, the standard deviation is 0. Write a program that prompts the user to enter 10 numbers and displays the mean and the standard deviation of these numbers using the following formula. Okay, you guys now are clear what is it that is required of us. Okay, so I've already created my exercise, even though it has an incorrect name, but that's not the point. The point is, what I want to do is to have a scanner, which is something we're not used to, where we'll use in order to read our numbers. I've said this before, a scanner can be, not only can it be used in order to read from the keyboard, it can also be used to read strings and files. Okay, anyways, okay, my variable is called numbers. Okay, what else? Now that I have a scanner that will read my numbers, I need to count numbers in a sequence, and that will simply be stored on this variable called count. Now I want to have show tool which will contain sum of all numbers. Double now contains sum of squares. That right there. I cannot. You see the square roots on the numerator, the second term. Okay, the term to the right on the numerator inside the square root. Okay, excluding its denominator though. Okay, which is n. So right here we're gonna have sum of squares. Again, we'll initialize it to 0. Okay, in case you're curious why do I keep explaining each and everything, It's because I'll store this code. I'll store this code on GitHub, and if I do, I want to make sure that everyone, in case you're looking for the source code, you're gonna have clarity on what is it that is going on, okay? As opposed to just writing variables and methods without actually having their documentation. Anyways, let's continue. Okay, what I'm saying is, okay, what do I want now? This variable here will contain the current number that is read by my scanner, okay? So I'll keep going as long as numbers reader has next. Okay, I'll simply go numbers reader dot next. It's numbers reader, not readers reader. Dot next. Not next double. Oh, anyways, that's okay too. So sum of squares is equals to, has to be modified by adding number times number. That is number squared. Okay, then after that, what we'll then do is to increase our sum by number. It's sum of all numbers by number. Sum of all numbers, we increase it by number. Okay, and then finally I want to increment my count. Of course, I need a semicolon there. Okay, so system.out.print I want to do this in case my count is not 0. It's not 10, If this is the case, then we know we have an exception because we're not having 10 digits. System.out. Error only 10 digits are required. What our system.out.exit Okay, now it is time we calculate the mean and the standard deviation. Luckily for us, mean isn't that hard to compute. It's nothing else but an average. However, standard deviation on the other hand, standard deviation is computed as follows. So it is the square roots first. It is the square root, as you guys can see. It is the square root of a numerator and the denominator. Okay. And on our numerator we have, or let's start with the denominator. We have n minus 1. So there is count minus 1. And up there on our numerator we've got sum of squares minus its sum of it's pretty hard out here, folks. It's really hard. So it's gonna be sum of squares. Let me check out my formula. It's gonna be sum of squares minus how am I gonna write that time? So it's gonna be sum of all numbers squared. So it's gonna be times that all over what? All over count. All over count, which is n. I always like putting brackets because they simplify things for me. Okay, in case you unable to see, I'm going to the next line. Okay, basically the whole thing right here is nothing else but that equation right there for standard deviation. Okay. Now we're done with the core of this exercise. It is time for us to display the output. System.out.print min the min is that system.out. Oh gosh, is it because I've had it with chapter 5, or is it because of some other reason? The standard deviation is standard deviation. Hopefully I've got everything right. And if I didn't, we'll see. Probably the problem might have to do with string formatting, which is something that you can do on your own, assuming that you've been following my tutorials on chapter 2, elementary programming. Why the heck are we having that as our solution? Number of numbers. You know what? I should make one of these a double. There was a mistake. No wonder. Sum of all numbers should be a double. Come on, game. Come. Why are you so freaking slow? Why would you take ages for something as simple as that? Okay, now let's see. We're getting precisely what we wanted to get. Again, as I just mentioned, you guys, you can play around with the printf statement in order to display 4 digits after a decimal point. What I'll do for now is to tell you guys I'm gone. That's it.